Hello, Reformers, and welcome back to Phantasy Calradia, 5th edition. And now, when we left off, I had a couple of prisoners, but thankfully enough, I have just returned from the Dwarven area. I recruited a couple of dwarves, and then on the way back, I checked out Tyr, as well as Sargoth, and I was able to find a ransom broker at Sargoth, which actually gave us a pretty considerable amount of cash, as you can see. So, what we're going to be attempting to do this episode is level up those dwarves. So as you see here, we have already leveled up 7 of them, thanks to our trainer skill, but I'm hoping that the experience gained from these orc raiders will make the difference. So, let's head in versus them, and hopefully none of these Jarls will see fit to interfere. No, it doesn't appear that is the case, so let's do this. We have 66 against 62. I do believe we are going to be fine. We have quite a few Inquisitors after all, so I think that should be okay. However, we do have some very low-level dwarves, so I'm just hoping that they don't get taken out, because if they do, then, yes, we are going to be set back rather considerably. Now, I do need to make sure that we don't charge in there, so that would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Yes. Let's get our spiritual hammer out, and I'm going to see if I can actually throw the first charge here. Maybe increase our throwing skill a little bit more. No! One of our dwarves was already taken out. That is not good. Okay, come on, we can do it. Let's throw... yeah, that's not going to happen, is it? No! Okay, well, let's do this. Maybe we can take some of these guys prisoner. That would be... Ouch! That would be very nice, but unfortunately it does appear as though they're throwing all of their throwing weapons at us. It's not a very pleasant experience for us, that's for sure. Okay, take them out. Yes, there we go. Oh yeah, we're getting quite a few of them here, taken prisoner. Oh my goodness. Okay, come on, take that guy out if possible. Unfortunate. Oh, and I've just taken much more damage than I really should have. Now, I'm going to attempt to heal myself. So let's move behind our protectors here, and we're going to heal. Oh yes, there we go. Heal once again, thank you very much. Bunduk is advanced to level 10, very, very good. Now, how many units did we lose? We lost 7 units. I'm hoping that none of those were dwarves. I really was not looking at the casualty report too much. I was just trying to stay alive, to be honest. So, unfortunately I'm not able to heal once again before we leave. But let's see here. We lost 2 Inquisitors, which I suppose is not all bad, because they are draining our wages quite considerably. And then we have 2 dwarves that lost their lives as well, which I suppose is also okay. But, yes, considering the dwarven area is such a limited space, I was hoping that we could retain some of those for the most part. So, let's take this peasant woman. And shall we take the farmers as well, or the Nord footmen? I do believe we should take some infantry, so we'll take the Nord footmen, and we'll leave everything else. We'll take all of these guys prisoner, and we'll see what we can do about selling them at Sargoth. That would be very nice. Oh my goodness, okay, that is great. As you can no doubt see, this is vastly superior to what we were currently using. And what about these boots? They're just a little bit worse, so maybe we could give some of this to one of our companions. I think that would be rather admirable of us to do so, and it does appear as though many of our companions are leveling up, as you can see here. Look at that, Xanavar, Bunduk, and that is actually it, but still, that's actually pretty nice. So let's level up these fellows here, get some dwarven fighters, and then head on over to Xanavar, and we'll see what he wants. What does he want here? He is actually very even in stats. He has an even distribution of them so far. So I think we're just going to be increasing his strength, get a little bit more in magic defense, I think, and then next time he gets to 12 in strength, we'll level up his power draw, maybe get a little bit more in agility as well, although he does have capped out weapon master already. That's a little bit difficult, I think. Well, let's see here. Bunduk, I think this is going to be relatively easy to level up. He does have 2 in first aid. That's really not going to help us. Ymira has 3 in first aid already. Tactics? Is he our tactics person? No, we are our tactics person. Well, maybe? I'm not too sure just yet. That's very difficult. Okay, let's go for some more in agility, and we'll increase his athletics skill, I think, so that he can run a little bit faster. There we go. And then we'll level up some more of these Inquisitors here. And yes, there we have it. So now let's go over to Frudak. And we'll give him our old gear. He was wearing some pretty terrible stuff, so yes, that's very good. Now he has some javelins. We'll give him some more javelins. And I don't really want to give him a spear at the moment. I wouldn't mind giving him this axe, actually, because this axe is terrible in comparison, so let's give him that. Even though it is chipped, I think it is better than his previous one, at least. So, yeah, wow. We're upgrading our companions pretty considerably here. Very nice. So, yeah, let's head back to Sargoth, and we will hope that the ransom broker is still there. If not, then we're going to be in trouble, but I'm hoping that he will have only moved a very small distance away. Now, let's just... Oh, we could take on these Sea Raiders. Let's do it. I just want to level up our dwarves as quickly as possible, so let's get into as much combat as we can. And, oh, we're fighting in the snow here. That's pretty cool. I like that. So, let's see. Let's get out our Spiritual Hammer. And what else do we want to do here? We want to bless everyone, I think. Oh my goodness. Okay. Some huge frame spike there. I'm not entirely sure why that was, but nevertheless, we are now ready to take these Sea Raiders on. I really don't want to charge everyone in just yet, so let's try and save Endel from getting killed this time, shall we? Now, I'm going to bless everyone again because I'm paranoid about it running out, and now we're just going to charge in. Let's do this. Ah, unfortunate. Okay, come on. Let's try and block this fellow's arrows. We weren't lucky enough to be able to do that. Oh, we need to get that mage. I think mages sell for quite a lot. Hopefully. Yes, there we go. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Now let's take this guy out. Or maybe not. Wow, it does appear as though our archers are doing an excellent job. Probably Xanova is shooting him. And there we have it. Wow, we were able to take quite a few of them prisoner. That is great. And there we have it. 3 renown, 3 morale. Not bad. And we're able to take, goodness me, so many of them prisoner. Wow, okay, so we're going to lose one of these and take the Bandit Mage, just to make sure that we are doing the correct thing in terms of how much money we actually get for each of them. And, ooh, this Nordic Shield is actually better than what we have. So we're going to be using that. And should we get a spear? I don't think so at the moment. Okay, that should be fine. So let's just continue onward. We have a full prisoner's hold. Now, what I would like to do, theoretically, is try to persuade them to join us, but as they are just going to be a drain on our wages at the moment, I really don't think that that is a good idea. However, in the future, if we are able to potentially take, I'm not entirely sure, but one of the higher level units, then we'll try and offer him a space in our holy army. But yes, as it stands at the moment, I do believe taking a couple of Sea Raiders is definitely not going to make too much of a difference whether we are going to win or lose. And, aha, it does appear as though Marnid is telling us his life story now. And he says, "People say that the Nords are a bunch of bloodthirsty barbarians, but they have a good head for trade, if you ask me. They make the people up and down the coast grow flax, which they weave here into linen. It can't compete with Jalkala silks and velvets as a luxury fabric, but it makes good summertime wear, and you can use it for the sails of ships. More importantly, linen was one of the few goods that someone else in Calradia wasn't already making. I had loaded up on saffron, cinnamon, cloves, pepper, and other spices, and a chest full of dinars. I estimated that I could buy linens, furs, velvet, iron, and wool, and the extra horses to carry them back. And I'd still make a profit. I just hadn't figured in the Kurgits, who apparently don't care for others cutting in on their monopoly." Aha. Well, he is a trader by heart, Marnid, of course, so, yes, being beset upon by a bunch of Kurgits is probably not the greatest thing to happen ever. So, it has been a rather serious amount of time, so I'm hoping that the ransom broker has not left. If he has, then I will probably cut away. Is that him? No, that's the traveler. Ah, unfortunate. He's moved on. Okay, so I'm going to head over to Tyr, because maybe he's gone over there now, and we'll see if we encounter any other units that we might be able to fight. That would be quite nice. But as you can see here, we are now receiving our rents from Zagush, which is absolutely amazing. They're actually giving us 900, so that is making a huge difference in the deficit that we're currently facing at the moment. So we still have 2,600, very nice indeed. And I'm actually thinking, should I head over to Zagush and actually purchase a improvement for it, perhaps? I'm not entirely sure whether that's worth it, because it is a rather large amount of money to spend for just a village, so maybe not for now. But I would like to do a couple of quests for them so that we can recruit more units from there, perhaps? Oh, there's a tournament going on here. Maybe we should participate in that as well. So let's have a look here. Bear is over there. Shall we recruit him? He is an engineer, after all, or shall we say a tinkerer. So let's just get him, shall we? Yes, he joins us for free as well, which is even better. So let's just check upstairs real fast, and then if there's nothing here, we'll just enter the tournament. Who is that? That is... that is a slave trader, but unfortunately, I do believe he sells everything for 50 dinars, and that's a little bit too low for my liking. So we're just going to head to the marketplace instead. We're going to be selling some of our Nordic helmets here, and various other useless equipment. Well, it's not too useless, because I do believe some of our units could use this, but at the moment what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep one of the shields, just in case one of us wants to use a shield, and then we'll buy some more food, because our army is getting a little larger now. And we're going to enter the tournament. We're going to be placing up... Oh my. Are we going to enter the tournament? Oh no, because one of you actually did state that going into a tournament and winning it is probably not a good idea, because then we would have so much money. But it's something to do, and I'm not entirely sure whether we can actually go to war just yet. Should we just... Should we bet 400? If we lose, this is going to be absolutely terrible. Okay, let's bet, and then we'll see how we do. 2 teams with 8 fighters each. We are gaining... Oh my, I can't use my prayers in this. Oh no, this is not going to work out too well, is it? No. Okay, well, let's do this. I have a dagger, and I have a very terrible power strike skill, that's for sure. So, okay, never mind. I'll just let the yellow team absolutely destroy everyone. Okay, so let's bet another 400, I suppose. And then we'll just head on. Oh my. Come on, red team. You have to do this for me. I have another bow, which is not going to help us out too much, is it? And this guy has a very large two-handed sword. Ouch. Well. Yeah. That did not work, did it? No, well, we spent 800 dinars, but I suppose it's not all bad, because we still have our prisoners, and we're very easily able to get that back. And I suppose it serves me right for attempting a tournament, even though it does give us a lot of money. But yes, we did get the archery stuff, and that is absolutely terrible with our current stats. As you can see, look at this, I have 15 in archery. I mean, seriously, they couldn't give me worse gear to compete with in the tournament. But nevertheless, I will be cutting away now, and once I arrive at a ransom broker, I will cut back. Okay, so thankfully enough, I have just entered Vederan, I believe it is. Yes, Vederan, and I went to... where was it? I went to Sargoth to try and ask the Traveller where any ransom brokers were, and unfortunately it doesn't appear as though he has that option any further, so I had to find this fellow all by myself, and thankfully enough, he was relatively close. So, we're going to be talking to him, of course, and we're going to be selling our prisoners here. 160 per one for that fellow. Very nice. 66 for the looters. Oh my. 112, and aha, so bandit mages are not as good as selling sea raiders themselves. So that is very good to know, and I will now be exiting and leveling up our dwarves. Thankfully enough to train a skill. And Frudak has also leveled up, so let's just get him some more in Power Strike, of course, and level up his two-handed weaponry. Oh yes, there we go. Okay, so Peasant Woman leveled up as well. Let's get Bear into the fight a little bit sooner. And let's see here. Yes, let's just see what he can make. Aha, he can make a repeating crossbow, but we don't have a regular crossbow at the moment. So, yes, maybe that would be nice for Bunduck eventually. So, actually, let's just check here, shall we? Let's check if there is actually a regular crossbow. A light crossbow and a cracked hunting crossbow. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, we weren't able to find anything there, but we now have 5,000 dinars, which is absolutely amazing. Very nice indeed to see that. So, what are we going to do next? I think we're probably going to just continue leveling up our foot dwarves here, as well as our dwarven fighters, because they are almost dwarf champions. And once they are dwarf champions, I think I might have the confidence to fight an enemy vassal, and by that I mean, of course, fight one of the Delthasum Empire vassals. So, without further ado, I am going to be cutting away once again, and I will attempt to find a couple of large bands of skeletons, maybe a large band of sea raiders, and level up our dwarves a little bit more. Now, what is going on down here? It does appear as though the Bleeding Throat clan is waging war against the Kurgits at the moment. And the Delthasum Empire actually hasn't done anything. That is very strange. Well, I suppose considering last time around with Arcane Deathbloom, we were participating with them as one of their vassals, so I suppose it is only natural to assume that we made a hell of a difference there, but yes, nevertheless, I will see you soon. Okay, so as I was wandering around this area, because it is well known for skeletons, I think you can somewhat imagine what we have encountered here. We have encountered some wandering demons. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're not going to attack these guys, are you, Reformist? Well, that's the thing. I would really like to, but that is probably going to spell our death, isn't it? It probably is. Are we going to attempt it? Well, I would say yes, if we had more Inquisitors. Now, could we do it? They do only have, well, I say only, they have 97 Hellspawn, but I was mainly seeing the Hell Riders. They only have 11 of those. They have 17 Hell Guards, and I think it would be rather impressive to actually take a look at the Balrog itself, because we haven't seen one of those yet. So I'm thinking we're going to head in and blast the consequences. So let's head in here. Oh my. Okay, so this fellow looks to be rather large. So they have almost exactly double our units. But we only have a -1 battle advantage. That is interesting. We only have 1 in tactics, so very strange. Okay, well, are these guys undead? They're not undead, are they? I can't use turn undead against them. Or can I? That would be amazing if I could, but something tells me maybe not. So, what we're going to do here is we're going to be standing closer. Go, go, go. Stand closer and try to interrupt these fellows as best you can. Okay, now, oh my. Charge in versus them and try and kill them as best you can. Yes. Okay, come on. Let's do this. Ah, wow. I was actually able to even get close to attacking them here with our throwing hammers, but unfortunately it does appear as though they are a little hardier than I had imagined. That's not too good, I have to admit. I am blessing everyone around us here. And let's just see, actually. Are we going to do this? Are we going to... It doesn't look good so far, actually. Okay. Wait. No. Oh my. They actually have some pretty reasonable gear as well. Oh my. Yes, they have some good shields. That's for sure. Okay. It does appear as though we are not able to take these guys on. However, we did take out quite a lot of them. As you can probably see, we took out... What is it? 50. And they've almost taken out 50 of us as well, but that's the problem. We are only able to field 50. So, yeah, unfortunate. But that is just the way things go, I suppose. Okay, so upon being defeated by the Balrog, we are now going to be fighting against some skeletons instead, and I do think that these are a little more on our level, because even fighting skeletons, we do lose quite a few units. But at least we did get to see some of the Hell units that we have not seen before, and I think that's pretty cool. So I think all we just need to do is get a little more powerful, and then we'll be able to take them on, because we were actually even Steven, technically, with how many they were able to kill of our units, and how many we were able to kill of theirs. So all we need to do is increase our Dwarven fighters' strength a little bit further, and maybe get a few more Blazing Hand units, and maybe a few more Dwarven units, and some of these golems would be rather nice, but for now, we're just going to attempt to take on these skeletons here, and let's get out my spiritual hammer, and we'll do our very best. Let's do this, guys. Come on, take him out. Now, unfortunately, the only thing we're not able to do with... Whoa, okay. Yes. The only thing we're not able to... Ouch. Really? Okay. I was not expecting that, that's for sure. Goodness me, okay. I was actually trying to block and take him out, but yes. Well, as I was saying... I'm not actually sure what I was saying. Yes, I was actually saying something like, oh yes, at least we can defeat these guys without taking any casualties. But no, it does appear as though I was the only casualty. No, oh, we did actually take 8 casualties, but they were only wounded, so I suppose we don't have to worry too much about that. And yes, there we have it. Okay, so let's just take a look here. We can actually get some Blazing Hand Footmen, as well as some Squires as well, which is very nice. Now, I'm not going to be taking any of these, I don't think. And instead, we're just going to be leveling up our Dwarven Fighters. Our first Dwarven Champion, very, very good. Let's try and get some of them to Dwarven Paragon status. That will be very nice. Okay, so I think other than that, we're probably just going to be heading on to Blazing Hand Lands, getting some more Dwarven units as well, and leveling them up. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll probably level them up off-screen a little bit, because, as you probably know, this will probably take some time, so I think it would be a good idea to do just that. Now, I'm going to give this guy a spiked helmet, and I'll give him a Morning Star as well, but he doesn't have the strength for that, so let's give him this mace. Yes, there we go, and this shield. There we go. Okay, now, let's give Marnid a bit of a level up. Let's increase his intelligence, and we'll increase his magic power once again. And that reminds me, we do need to get him some magic-orientated gear. I do believe that would be good. Now, unfortunately, I misclicked there, so yes, we'll just go through his story again a little bit there. And Aiden has now leveled up too. And, wow, that's actually ironic. Marnid has, well, more intelligence than Aiden, the actual wizard, so, yeah, okay. Rather impressive. So, let's see, what do we want to get? Let's get some Weapon Master so that we can just continue to increase his throwing skill without any impediments. And I think that will be it. So, let's move these Blazing Hand Footmen to the top. There we have it. And then we'll move these Squires as well. Okay, so for this episode of Phantasy Calradia, I do believe we are going to end it off here. And next time, we are going to have a greater army than we have here. I'm thinking we're probably going to have at least maybe 100 units. And I'm going to attempt to potentially purge our army of these units here, and instead we're just going to have a pure Dwarven Blazing Hand combination. I do believe that is probably going to be the strongest combination we can get. Maybe we'll get some Nords as well, depending on if I can recruit a lot of Dwarves, and then I will just run around here and I'll fight a couple of skeletons and level them up pretty considerably, hopefully get a couple more champions, and then eventually level them up into paragons. So, I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.